Hey, my lovelies, welcome back to another episode of the Euro Cooking Canuck. Once again, thanks so much for joining me and welcome. On today's segment of Clearly Canadian, I'm going to be making something that if you grew up in Canada or lived in Canada or even visited Canada, I'm sure you went to this place. I'm doing a copycat of Mr. Sub's classic assorted sub. Guys, this sub goes back to 1968 and it is the classic. So, I had a craving. I don't live in Canada anymore, and there's other people around the world who would love to have this amazing sub. So, let's get in that kitchen and make Mr. Sub's copycat assorted sub. Let's go, eh? Hey gang, welcome to the kitchen countertop. The first thing I'm going to do is obviously start on my bread. We need sub bread for these subs. So in this bowl I have half a cup of warm water. I'm going to add a package of yeast and about 2 tablespoons of sugar. And all the amounts again, guys, will be below. Okay, I'm gonna let this sit for a bit until it starts to proof, and I'll bring you back. Hey guys, what I have in this bowl here are 3 cups of all-purpose flour, which I've sifted, and now you can see the yeast has really activated. So I'm gonna make a little hole in the middle, a well. I'll pour that in. And then I'm going to slowly start incorporating the flour into this. And I have a cup of water on the side. So I'm going to add gradually. We're looking for a sticky dough, guys. It should not stick to the sides, but be a little sticky on the bottom. So I'm going to go about half a cup. And then at this point, I'm going to add my salt. I'm going to add a tablespoon of sea salt. Depending on the weather, you may need more flour, you may need more water. So as you can see, it's becoming more ragged. I'm going to add the other half of the water, and I'm going to keep mixing this, see how it turns out, and I'll bring you back. Guys, I need a little bit more flour, so I added it in, and I switched to my hand because the spoon's getting too hard. And as you can see, it's sticky, but it's starting to form. So I'm going to continue with this, keep kneading it. The more you knead it, the softer your bread will be because it releases the gluten. Starting to come together, guys. And then I'll show you what I add to this dough next. Alright guys, dough is coming along nicely. So at this time, what I'm going to do is go ahead and now incorporate 3 tablespoons of cold butter, which I've diced up. And this is going to add nice air pockets and make the bread really fluffy. So I'm going to continue with this. I'm going to add flour as needed. And I'll bring you back when it's nice and smooth. Alright guys, I've lightly floured my work surface. Make sure it's clean. I'm going to put my dough on here. And I'm going to knead this. You can still see the little bits of butter as it starts to melt. I'm going to knead this, guys, for 8 to 10 minutes. It's a workout. And I'll bring you back when that's all done, guys. Hey guys, I'm done kneading my dough. It's very soft. It's very supple. I'm just going to form this into a ball. And as you can see, when you poke it, it bounces back. Very, very supple. So I'm going to put this back into the bowl. I'm going to put a little bit of oil just so it doesn't stick to the bowl. Like so. I'm going to cover this with a clean dishcloth. And I'm going to let this rise anywhere between a half hour to an hour in a warm spot. In the meantime, I'm going to clean up my counter and I'll bring you back with that stuff, guys. Hey guys, it's time to unveil our dough. Woo! It's risen, certainly double in size. So I'm just going to punch it down lightly. I'm going to lightly flour my work surface again. Take that beautiful dough out. It's gorgeous. I'm just going to try and get it so I can cut it into some equal pieces. Perfect. What I want now, guys, is to cut this into 3 equal pieces. So I'm going to eyeball it. It doesn't have to be completely perfect. Set 2 of these aside. And what I want to do is roll this into about 12 inches. And it should be the same thickness all the way around. Meaning, I don't want the ends to be tapered down. That looks really good to me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this on a parchment-lined baking sheet, a tray, and I'll do the other 2 and bring you back. Alright guys, I'm pretty happy with the shape of my sub buns. Again, you're not making this from a machine, and so you don't have those molds that these places would have. So what I'm going to do now is again cover this tea towel, and we're going to let this rise again for almost another hour. So guys, my mic stopped working for some reason, but now it's time to unveil our sub buns. They've been sitting here under this cloth for an hour. Wow, take a look at those beauties. Woo! They look fantastic, guys. So now what I'm going to do is place these in the oven at 175 Celsius to a slow bake. You want these to get nicely lightly browned on top. You do not want them to be really crispy, guys. They need to be like sub buns, which are nice and chewy. So guys, the sub buns are out of the oven, and as you can see, they have a lovely light brown color on them. What I'm going to do is rub them now with a stick of butter. This gives them a nice sheen, keeps them soft, and you're going to get that classic sub bun look But you know, that kind of wrinkly look once the butter sinks in there. So give it a generous slather, and you're going to want to let these cool completely, guys, before you continue on with stuffing them. They look nice and shiny. Alright guys, so now you can see the sub bun has that classic, iconic, wrinkly look to it. The buns are soft, and it's time to cut in. Look at the bottom, beautiful. I wish you could hear that. It's just going through lovely, soft, beautiful bread. Now, I want you guys to take a look at the inside. Nice and airy, nicely with holes, beautiful. Now guys, the assorted sub. This is the classic sub from Mr. Sub. You can use your own makeup of dressing, but guys, you know what it really is? It's Italian dressing. If you wanted to go with, you know, soy oil or vegetable oil, olive oil, garlic, oregano, basically guys, it's Italian dressing. So go ahead and give a generous coating to the bottom of your bun, to which I'm then going to add the cheese. Now at Mr. Sub they always use a white cheese, so the white cheese is going on. You can use an Emmental, or you can even use that packaged plastic cheese, but try and use the real thing, guys. So on goes the cheese layer. The next layer, of course, are tomatoes. Thickly slice your tomatoes. You don't want them too thin, but you don't want them too thick. Just perfect, but a quarter of an inch. And then of course you always want to season your tomatoes with a bit of sea salt and freshly ground cracked pepper. Excellent. It's already starting to smell like Mr. Sub in here. I like a lot of pepper, guys. Right, so the next thing we're going to do is place on some onions. I like to finely slice the onions. You don't want really big, thick chunks. They should be quite thin. I think you have to have onions. And then you're gonna have some shredded lettuce, just regular iceberg lettuce, guys. Nothing too fancy. And pile it on. Mr. Sub used to really pile on that finely shredded lettuce. Mine wasn't as fine as theirs, but then again, I didn't want it to be complete mush. So right guys, the assorted sub is made up of 3 cold cuts, 3 types of luncheon meats or sliced deli meats. Now you have salami, which will be the first layer. This is a gorgeous salami. Yeah. Then the second layer is ham. I thought I'd get fancy, but let's just get real. There you go. Place all your ham on top of the salami. And guys, the last meat that Mr. Sub uses, believe it or not, is just plain old luncheon meat. Now I'm using a garlic pork. Use your favorite luncheon meat. But the garlic pork reminds me of the most closest to the flavor of Mr. Sub. looking good. Oh yeah. Now, for good measure, some more Italian dressing. Guys, like I said, you can make this on your own, vegetable or soy oil with some olive oil, garlic, salt, pepper, and some Italian herbs. But guys, it's basically Italian dressing. Pop a lid on. And guys, take a look. That is the Mr. Sub Copycat Classic Assorted Sub if I've ever seen one. Looks just like it. All that's missing is that wax paper that they would wrap it in. And of course the paper bag. Alright guys, it's time to cut into this beauty. It cuts like a dream. The bread is just perfection. I have all those amazing cold cuts, the smell of the dressing, the onions, there's those cool tomatoes in there, and look at that. That is a mouthful. Of course, I'm serving this up with some chips or crisps, which is kind of classic for Mr. Sub kind of thing. And there you go, guys. There you go. Have at it. Please like, please subscribe, please share. I love all of your comments. Please comment. My Facebook page will be below, and we'll see you next time.